Hi everyone, welcome to my tutorial video on week 104 of the GTP weekly race series time trials. This week we are racing around Tokyo in the Toyota Supra. First I will play the lap through and then I will explain it in more detail. So, coming into the first corner, you want to brake probably about 150 metre board. And I'll also mention, I've changed the brake balance to 4 at the front and 9 at the back. This helps me to turn the car into the corner using the brakes. So, brake quite hard. Well, if you don't brake hard, you won't get the turning effect that induces. So you need to brake really hard, get on the curb on the left, use all the track, and that'll happen. You should turn the wheel slightly as well, and then point the car towards the apex like that. Once you've got it pointed towards the apex, you can get back onto full power, and that'll just settle the car into the track, and you should get a nice drive out. Into the second corner, brake just before the curb on the right hand side. It's crucial, the braking point into this corner. If you get it slightly wrong you can lose a lot of time. I think I lost probably a tenth through this corner on this lap actually. You want to also start turning in slightly before you brake, just to get the car to slide into the corner a bit. It understeers quite a lot, this car. So then get back on the power before the apex after you've finished turning the car into the corner. And try and avoid that curb on the right hand side if you can, because that will tend to throw you into the wall on the exit as well, which is quite annoying if you do it a few times. For this corner, it's probably the easiest corner on the track, but it's still a bit of a method to it. So you want to turn in and just dab the brakes a bit. Just keeping tight to that inside curb but not riding over it, otherwise it will throw you out wide a bit. So keep dabbing the brakes a bit until you've finished slowing down the car. And then you can get back on the throttle when you spot your exit. It takes a bit of practice to know when to get the throttle back on because it's such a long corner. But then just miss the curb on the inside, otherwise again that will throw you into the barrier slightly and lose you a bit of exit speed. Again, you'll see me do a little flick of the steering just before I apply the brakes and turn in. This is to overcome the understeer in this car, and there's a method that will gain you a lot of time. So shift down to third after the first little apex. It's a double apex, this one. So then get back on the power and shift up to fourth immediately. This corner is one of the most crucial ones on the track, and this week I have messed this corner up many times when I was several tenths ahead of my ghost. So yeah, you want to use all the track, although obviously don't touch the walls, otherwise your lap will be disqualified. Use the curb on there and do a slight, like a controlled Scandinavian flick, if you know what I mean, just before you turn, and then you will be able to take this corner flat out. And just miss that curb, hopefully, on the inside. You don't want to take very much of it if you do hit it, otherwise you will be thrown into the barrier on the right hand side here. For this corner I brake just as that wall starts to bend to the left slightly. You don't want to brake too late, otherwise you will miss this apex, and it's quite crucial that you hit that. Then you can pick up the power early and miss that wall on the left. This lap's all about getting the car turned into the corners. You'll notice me using quite advanced braking techniques quite often, but it's all about flicking the steering as you turn in. That's how you can do it. This bit of the track's quite fast. You just have to point it and hope that you miss the walls, really. You can't really do too much to help yourself on this bit. And set the car up for this next corner here. Again, you want to flick the steering slightly as you brake to get the car turned in. It's an off-camber downhill corner, so it's quite tricky to get the braking point right for this one. If you just hit the apex, then you'll be able to get the power on straight away and carry the maximum speed out. Again, for this corner, you can actually gain a lot of time by doing it in this corner, because it is like 180 degree hairpin. You'll gain a lot of time by flicking the car in and drifting the back end out slightly, just to get the car rotated, really. So once you've got it rotated, you can pick up the power again and try and keep it tight as you can without hitting that wall, and hopefully you should be able to get a good lap. So that lap was a 1 minute 34.295.